We could. All right. We are live. Aloha and welcome to This is Paradise podcast. I am here again with Alex Walton, the number one guy from Boss Life. And I kind of wanted to talk about Genesis mainly, but it sounds like we can kind of go anywhere with this. So I'm excited.
Anywhere you want, it's always a pleasure to speak to you, and I'm happy to be here again. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for coming on. Do you want to? I guess we could start with Genesis and we can maybe go into like the Boss Life stuff again
Mm.
because to kind of reintroduce it to people that haven't seen you on before.
Sure. So Genesis is the most effective, least affordable supplement stack on the planet.
Least affordable.
Yeah, it's expensive. You're paying. You're paying. That's what it is. Uh, you're paying basically $10 a day. You know, for a morning drink and a night drink. It puts everything into two little easy scoops, and it saves you just about $2,000 a month and 220 plus pills a day to choke down to cover almost everything that you would need to take if you were super into like supplements.
And how did you come up with this?
We were on a bender. We were wasted, like starting, drinking at around like 8 a.m. with the boys, and then we had like an event that day and stuff, and so that's why I don't know, we started early and then we went out, and then we were, by the end of the night, it was probably 16 hours of drinking.
Dang. Okay.
Like, yeah. And then we were like, and I when we got back to the crib, I was like, hey boys, do you want to try my supplement stack that I take? It like will help you with your sleep. And so I gave that to the homies, and then they woke up and they're like, what the was in that, basically.
Right.
We need, like, I would buy the like, can you give me more? So every time I'd
Right.
see them for a few months, do you have any more of that stuff? Didn't have a name yet. It was just like, do you have any more of that, whatever you gave me, so I can sleep?
Yeah.
So it was about a year of that, and then eventually they convinced me to sell it.
Oh wow. Okay. I didn't realize you were convinced.
Yeah, no, it was not my intention to sell it. I honestly don't. I'm not.
Interesting.
I'm not at all qualified to be in the supplement business in any way, shape, or form. I don't particularly love it. The supplement business. There's a lot of shit that I hate about it, to be honest. Like,
Right.
all the grinding and the weighing and the inventory and the math. But
Yeah.
I've always been like into uh optimizing for myself, and I'll take any advantage I can get. So I would have been doing this for me either way, and I was for
Like
years
optimizing performance.
in any way possible. Yeah, any advantage I can get. Yep.
Yeah. You're creating almost like the legal meth, so to speak, or whatever.
Sure. Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Some people have literally quit taking amphetamines and opiates, and stopped smoking weed and stopped drinking,
Wow.
and credited Genesis with helping, which was not at all the goal. Uh,
Hmm.
I don't. There is some, upon further research, there is some evidence that makes it make sense why that could be the case, but that was not the
Mm.
goal, not in the
Like
slightest.
they're already getting like whatever it's doing to them is already giving like that
I
natural boosts
I
because
get, yeah.
when
Go
I
ahead.
was taking it, so I was taking it for a period of time. I couldn't even remember exactly how long. I know it was more than a month,
Okay.
but I
Yeah.
remember I went to the gym and my friend went to the gym, left the gym, and goes, "Wait, are you still at the gym?" And I was like, "Yeah." She was like, "Dude, what the F?"
I've heard a
I was like,
lot of
"Dude, I just can't get tired. I'm just not tired."
I've heard a lot of people say that about like the endurance effects. And again, that this is just like, I don't know. I don't know why. I can't tell you. I can't explain from a scientific perspective, but we've heard that so many times.
Yeah.
What I'm the guy who's just like, I'm a guinea pig for myself. So if I hear that there's some like new supplement, some ingredient that's everybody's loving, I'll be like, all right, I'll try it. And I've just done that for, 20 years. And then I'm like, all right, let me try to put them all in one and like
Yeah, because
find
I
it.
think in the beginning, you also wanted people to kind of help you find other ones to compare it to, right?
Oh,
Which
I don't
kind
know
of
if I understand what you mean, actually.
like like other products to compare it to, like side
In
by
the,
side.
in the
Remember,
beginning,
like if
well,
I saw something new or something, and then
for sure. I mean, once we started selling it, I might have, but maybe that's what you mean. Like when I started selling it, I probably had asked you, like, hey, what do you think? Yeah, but
yeah, I don't
but
think I even really took anything like that consistently too. You know,
I mean, I have always been just like, give me every advantage I can find,
right,
and
right, right.
I'll take it. And so 20 years ago, there was no Genesis. Genesis is relatively new, but I was always like, oh, there's a supplement that might help. Let me try that.
Yeah,
And so I always like look into the stuff, and I can't understand the research papers. So I have to like, read the
you need to
guide.
see it in layman terms. Yeah, yeah,
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. So why Genesis? Is there a like? Why'd you name it that?
We just like
Just
asked,
curious.
we just asked ChatGPT, like, what do you think, like, are some good names? And then,
That's a good ass name. Yeah,
yeah,
that's ChatGPT.
yeah. And then
That's funny.
it kind of like made sense because, like the beginning, Genesis is the first chapter of the Bible.
Right.
Right. And so like the beginning, the first phrase in the first chapter of the Bible is something like, it sort of represents dawn, which is our morning
Mm,
supplement.
I see. I see. I see.
And
Okay, so it tied into that. Okay.
yeah, it made sense. Like in the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, or whatever it is, depending on the translation of whatever version you're reading. And then
Yeah.
the last chapter of Genesis is and on the something like, or the last sentence roughly, or I could be this up a little bit, is
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
on the seventh day God rested.
Mm,
So we're all, it's not really meant to be a Christian adjacent necessarily. It's more of, we're all God fearing, God respecting folks here. And so if like even the big man upstairs has to take a rest at the end of a hard week of creating the entire universe, we started with dusk. We started with the sleep formula, and
mm.
it just made sense.
I see. I see. That makes sense. That interesting. Okay,
Yeah.
I actually don't have any more because I gave it to my nephew and was curious because he was really into all the stuff when I went to California and visited him and went to the gym with him, and he's like, you know, strong, where he needs to be, and he's training to go to the Air Force Academy. So I said, "Hey, I'm going to send you this stuff, and then just I need some feedback on it." I haven't gotten any feedback yet. I have to call him up, but
How old is he, and where is he?
he's in California and he's 17,
Where in California?
Bay Area.
Is he close to San Jose?
He's in more north. He's in Katati. Yeah,
How far is that? Like within 30
it's
minutes or no?
it's like where Petaluma is, near Marin,
Oh yeah,
over the
so
Golden
north
Gate,
of Marin.
north of Marin. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I was gonna say I could connect my nephew with yours perhaps, but that's a pretty long distance.
Oh, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That would have been cool. But he's about to graduate and then hopefully get into a academy, Air Force Academy, hopefully.
That's what's up.
But I told him, because he was on that role, and then I kind of took a break from taking it. So I was like, you know what? I don't want it to get bad. I'm just gonna let him go and take it, and then I'll just get more whenever you get some more.
Sure.
because I already knew it was working. So it's like I don't need to now know if it works. I just need to, when I'm ready to take it again, take it again. So
Sure.
yeah,
Yeah. Well, we've had, look, you're not going to get any super scientific answers out of me here today. I can't claim to know why
yeah,
it
it's all
works
right.
so well. All I can say is, I'm a collector of good advice and wisdom. I took everything that people seem to talk about. Like, if I see a bunch of people who I respect, and I know you're kind of like this too, in the sense that you have the ability to recognize who is worth listening to, and and by vibe, by resonance, energy, pattern recognition. If I see a bunch of people saying a similar thing, I'm paying attention. So that's basically all I did with supplements, and I just had like a long list of things that, I have a giant box or multiple downstairs of. You wouldn't believe the amount of like supplement bottles that I've got just like hanging around, uh, and it was like way too many to take. Even 50 or 100 capsules per day is pretty brutal. Like, you can't even on Amazon, for example, find a container that can hold 50 capsules per day. So you
Right,
have to get like multiple even to hold a quarter of what we have in Genesis. So it was just like a matter of convenience to source the raw powders, and um,
right.
we ended up, selling it.
Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. I don't need any science answers. I just wanted to talk about it more of like how like the creation of it and stuff, which I think is good, you know.
Yeah. So the thing is, it is expensive, and for a supplement. But if you really think about it, most people are happy to spend their $5 in the morning on their Starbucks, and $5 per night or whatever for their whiskey soda, or a beer at the bar or whatever.
Right.
Like, no, if it were in those contexts, nobody's really batting an eye at $10 a day. It just sounds a lot for a supplement, but it basically does what those two things do. So people drink their Starbucks for the energy in the morning,
Yeah.
or like a C4, Red Bull, whatever.
Right.
Those are roughly also almost $5
Yeah.
for the bigger versions. And then if you go to try finding even a single shot that's like less than $5 if to like relax you in the evening. So for less than what you would spend on one alcoholic beverage and one coffee in the morning, basically you can get like actually clean energy. You're you will feel it. Unlike most supplements, you will actually feel it. And at nighttime, you will be able to, it doesn't really have knockout power. So it's not like a sedative. But once you sleep, the quality will be so much deeper. You will notice it when you wake up and throughout your sleep as well. And so that's our main negative is probably price, uh, just because it's so outside of like the rest of the market. And then it tastes like which we're working on. So aside
Yeah,
from
I loved the video, or like you put it on your story one time. You're like, you want something that tastes really good? You want to be a legend? Drink this or something.
yeah, exactly. So you could always, the thing is, the taste can be fixed pretty easy. You just
Yeah.
mix it with some lemonade, orange juice, pineapple juice, um, or like flavored amino acids, EAAs, anything like that, and it's fine. You just chug it down. It's like no big deal for the people who are interested in the top level performance, which is who Genesis is for.
Yeah.
They're already willing to suffer like
Yeah.
sacrifice for performance.
Right.
But yeah, but we are working on flavor. We'll see what we can do.
So I do want to change gears a little bit, and
Cool.
it's actually based off of a video that I did see on your on your on your Instagram, and I'm gonna play this video so you could just hear like what you're saying. But I
Okay.
like this, and I kind of want to like talk about this a little bit.
Sweet.
Yeah,
Love it.
hold on. Let it reset here.
Late teens or early 20s and you're lonely, you don't have a relationship, and you're wondering, what should I do about this? And do I need to speed things up? And how do I fix it? What you should do is focus on building yourself as a man. So you should be in the gym, working on your mind, your body, your spirit. You should be meditating. You should be journaling. You should be reading. You should be building your income. Throughout that period, you should be going out into the world and meeting women and meeting men and networking and elevating your social skills as well. You shouldn't be worried if you're in your late teens or early 20s about having a relationship. Say in your late...
I love that. So I kind of want to talk about that because I notice, especially here in Hawaii, I just feel like people get so stuck in not being ambitious. And maybe
Not
they do
being
get
ambitious.
not being ambitious. Maybe they do get stuck in relationships. And so it's like the opposite. Like you're talking about, build yourself and all this stuff. But I feel like the culture here is people get into relationships and then they'll build themselves afterwards.
Are you saying specifically that the goal is not to be ambitious, or that that's not?
It's not that it's a goal. It's just like it's almost like, I don't know if it's like a culture thing, but the most ambitious people that I was ever friends with when I lived here on island were military kids because they weren't from here.
Sure.
So they didn't, like, my local friends didn't have goals. They didn't have what they wanted to be when they grow up, things like that. So that I found interesting because in the world, you see that too, right? We talk about like the 30-year-old guy living in his mom's basement or whatever, hypothetically, right?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I just wanted to talk about that, and I like that. I like that clip, of you kind of giving advice to younger kids on like what's the best thing to do.
Sure. Well, I mean, you exemplified this so much. So I don't remember which video that was, or like where we shot it or whatever, but to me that feels like pretty basic advice, no? Like to you, at least to you and I.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I don't know how basic that is to the average person. And part of that is I don't know. What the?
I have like a helicopter flying over for some reason. It's like the military does that.
Dude, they're trying to get. They heard you talking to me, dude. They're trying to get you.
No. They do the training and they fly right over. I'll have to cut that out. It's fine.
I genuinely don't know. Like if that's, to me, that's just the most basic. Like I really love the nuance. I'd love to get into some of the nuance later tonight while we're talking.
Yeah.
But that to me is so obvious, basic now. But I'm so disconnected from, I would say, like the normal cultural programming at this point that I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure. Like, do just general kids hear that every day, or is that like unique to them, or like sound abnormal? I don't even know.
I think it's kind of advised for women to do that. Like, there's like this. There has, and I think recently has been more of a female push for being independent, right?
Yeah.
Which has been, we see that in the culture even of music, right? We have these like artists and they're rapping about how they got their money themselves and whatever else. And I think that that's part of that. It's like, let's push. But the reality is, and I can only really speak for what I've seen. I mean, it goes on everywhere in the world, but what I've seen in Hawaii, and because Hawaii is very family-oriented culture, is that people do get into relationships and that's their main priority. Their priority is not any type of career. Like that's a lot of people's dreams, is to have families. So
that's based as
that's what?
That's based.
Yeah.
Like as in that's gangster. That's admirable. That's so rare in the West these days. I think that
Oh, to have a family?
yeah, to have that as a goal, that's gangster. That's like, you can't really, it's hard to come up with much higher than that.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think that it's been sort of demonized, especially for women for some reason. It's like, you've probably seen this stuff online where it's sort of made out to be now that to have a family or to be a mother or a wife is like, I don't know, disrespectful to yourself. Like, it's makes you less than for some reason. Where in my head, that's like the most. There's like no higher honor than like being a mother, probably. I can't think of a single thing. You know, it's right up there with uh, doctor, military, teacher. It's those types for me. And perhaps it's above, because all doctor, military, teacher, etc., first responders, people who put their life on the line, people who put their sanity on the line, people who put their own relationships at home on the line to help strangers who might not even appreciate them, uh, all come from a family. And I don't think there's a higher honor, but these days it's sort of demonized. Like, being a mom is like, it's not really, it doesn't really happen with dudes. I don't think, I don't really see a lot of guys being shamed for being like, yeah, I want to have kids. It's more like, you know, I'm going to be, you know, I don't need to have kids. I'm blah, blah. Yeah, you don't have to. But like, why is that like cool to say these days? I don't have the answer, but I think that that's not really that cool. I think it's cool to like raise the youth. It's cool to give life or nurture life. And it's, I don't know what's more beautiful or purposeful, more fulfilling than that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just describing the culture more because, like, and not really specifically for women, but I think kind of with that whole clip is more geared towards guys, I think,
Sure. Yeah, for sure.
And, I do know of guys that like want kids and want children and do want a family, but they're not ambitious. They don't have good jobs. Like, no girl wants to date you basically because like you can't even take care of yourself. You know what I mean? So I feel like that's kind of why I like those little messages. I think obviously they're like simple advice, but I feel like obviously it wouldn't get popular if people didn't need to hear that, or weren't reposting it or whatever else.
And by the way, it's not even popular. Like I think I'm not even very good at like content and stuff like that. I'm pretty I think I should be like, it should be, honestly, like I'm telling you the real.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm good at any of the content stuff or like the marketing part of it. I know the transformation side intimately.
Yeah.
I would put my life down. I think God would touch me on the shoulder with approval to say I don't. There's very few people overall who have put in what I've put in. I should be much better and much cooler than I am for the effort I put in, because I started pretty low. But I really have put in everything, every ounce I had. My marketing is trash. Luckily, I got a business partner now. He's helping me out. My content is mid. The advice is based in what works.
I'm surprised you're saying that, because I think your content is pretty good.
I always appreciate
you just have to post consistently. Like you can't make dope content and post once in a blue moon, because that's not how the algorithm works.
That's fair.
You know
And
the quality of your content I think is good. Like the way you have people shooting it, the way you like the mics and stuff you use, it's like clear. Like that is higher level content making than a
Thank
lot
you.
of stuff I see online.
I appreciate that. Thank you. You always make me feel better about that stuff. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I think you're being a little hard on yourself with the creation of the content, but the consistency is always hard. It's always hard because we have lives, and it's like, yeah, it's definitely a grind.
I'm not ashamed to say that even regardless of what you just the nice compliment you just gave me, which I really appreciate. I really appreciate all the feedback you give me like that, or from anyone, because I really do put in the blood, sweat, and tears into this stuff, and not for the money. It was a God-given duty, task, mission, and we can get into that maybe another time or later. But that's why I do it. It needs to be done for my own soul, so for me to sleep at night, basically. But I don't think I'm like great at content. I mean, there's people who could go like viral real quick. Sure, if I was more consistent, yeah, well, we're gonna work on that. But what I can say is what we deliver on the back end is genuinely what works. And unfortunately, for the people, for my goal to like grow Boss Life, I think that what works is unpopular to talk about. What do you think about that?
What works is more popular to talk about?
Unpopular to talk about.
Oh, unpopular to talk about. Like what, for example?
Like, I don't know. What's like an example of what girls, you hear girls saying that they wish guys did more? Hey, cry on my shoulder. How about that one? I wish a guy would like cry on my shoulder. Like,
I've never heard a girl say that they wished a guy would cry to them.
You have never heard that?
No.
I've had girls say that to me. Yeah, it's a real thing. Okay, like what's one that you can think of where you like heard something that girls might say that they want, but that you're like, that's
there. So I guess one example I can think of is more of a specific example, because one of my friends liked somebody I know, and she felt like offended because he never at any point asked for her number.
Okay.
And so she felt like, and now in my particular friend's defense, he's kind of like socially on the spectrum. So
Okay.
like, I don't think he was thinking he doesn't think in terms of girl, right? Like
Of girls or girl specific one girl.
Like he's not a player. Like he doesn't think, oh, what like he's not good at knowing what girls would want. You know what I mean?
Yeah, boom.
So
go ahead.
I think that's more of what happened. It's not like not interested in her thing or anything like that. Like, you know,
he didn't know how to run it.
He didn't know how to run it.
Boom. So there's one. Boom. Can I interrupt for a sec?
Yeah.
So I'm talking about what works is unpopular to talk about. Right? That was how we got into this.
Yeah.
So I think, and this is unpopular, I'm not saying I'm for sure right all across the board, but I know I'm right for a subsection of people, maybe the majority, that you need to get experience as a man. You need to get experience with chicks.
Yeah.
To learn how women work, because you're not going to learn from Netflix. You're not going to learn it from social media. You're not going to learn it from school. You're not going to learn it from your parents. You're not going to learn it from the friends you grew up around, because you're going to have maybe one friend, maybe, who like happened to figure it out because his dad is dope or something, and he watched his parents have a,
or he has brothers and sisters that are older. I feel like that is common too.
Yeah, perhaps. But older doesn't mean more knowledgeable, because it could also mean, they're like more sunk into their own bad habits. It's like you need to have a good example through osmosis to learn from. So most men, I think men and women both need to learn this stuff, but let's focus on men for now, because that's my audience for the most part, for Boss Life at least. And these guys, they've never learned what a woman really wants. All they've learned, and not learned, let me take it back. they've been programmed, brainwashed with the wrong information almost their entire lives. And it's very rare that if anyone that they've ever met, maybe like one kid in their class who was cool because that kid's dad was cool, and that kid's dad and mom have like a healthy, positive, masculine, feminine relationship. Maybe they kind of learned and through osmosis from that one kid. That's pretty rare, even if that happened. All of the other sources, Hollywood, everything they're watching on the television, everything they're consuming through their phone, everything they're consuming in school, at home, and around their friends is basically teaching them the wrong things. The culture is fucked. So that's not popular to say. And once you start talking about the real truth, which I think in a lot of cases for women, I don't think that women need, I think it's like opposite. I don't think that women need experience to be good with men. You can just basically be pretty and nice. That's it. You don't even have to be pretty. You could just basically be nice and you'll be all right. For men, or like young men or boys even, like if you want attention, positive attention, and to be attractive to young girls or young women or adult women, you have to understand them. And everything you've been consuming for your entire existence, every piece of programming from every angle is telling you the opposite of what works. So you have to go through a period of deprogramming. So this is where the unpopular advice comes in. It's like a lot of people don't like it. It's like dude, you guys, I think these days you just got to go out and you got to get a lot of experience with girls. You got to date around. I think you got to be a little bit of turn yourself into a little bit of a playboy, whether that's 5 girls, 50 or 500 or 5,000, whatever your level is you need. But if you think that you're going to figure it out without getting a little bit of experience, you're not going to understand female nature at all. And you're going to pay the price. And so that's not popular to say. And a lot of the stuff that I have to say, which works, which is the stuff that works, and the rules never fail. This is where I'm getting sassy here. All that stuff requires you to go against most of it, not all. Most goes against what is popular to say. And, so like on my side, it's like, fuck, if I'm going to say this, I know people are going to have backlash. Or on his side, he's going, fuck, if I'm going to follow Alex's advice, then I'm going to get like backlash from my friends. So we're in this weird conundrum.
Yeah, I mean, what works though,
What works.
Yeah.
Do you agree with me that men should get experience and go through a little bit of a playboy period, even if it's just like a few chicks, to figure out like how female nature works? I'm not saying be a dickhead. I'm not saying take advantage of anybody. I'm saying you got to date around.
Yeah, I mean, that's dating, right? I mean, that's what dating is. Right. I mean, yeah, it you don't have to like compromise morals to like date multiple people. I think, that's normal. We don't know kind of what works for us sometimes at first. I think obviously when we're younger, we think we know or whatever, and then we get into these relationships. And then obviously as we mature, it changes, or we look back and we're like, what the fuck was I doing? I was wasting time. But you don't sometimes, hindsight's, 2020, at that point. Because I definitely was in relationships or dated certain people that at the time zoomed in microscopically, I thought, oh yeah, this is great. But if I really analyzed it from my now brain, my 36-year-old brain, I don't think I would have
36.
Yeah.
Yeah, you look great for 36.
October was my birthday. Thank you.
How does it feel being like how's your great grandson doing these days? Boom roasted. I gotcha.
My great grandson. I mean, I would need to have kids to have a grandson.
Yeah,
so.
but boom roasted. Sorry, I'm just moving stuff off my.
Boom roasted.
No, I just kidding. That's crazy. You're killing it.
I don't know if I can get roasted by a guy that looks like Pitbull, but okay.
Oh, boom roasted me back.
Roasted.
Good.
Checkmate. No.
Nice. I'm just moving some.
No, you're good. You're good.
So I can sit in my nice office chair with you.
Even my nephew, like I was like, who's that? And he was like, oh, it's my girlfriend. And I was like, oh, okay. And it's like, they need to experience that. They need to like get their hearts broken and recover from that. They need to be in those scenarios where they're in that relationship where the girl said, X, Y, and Z, I don't want to date you or whatever, or they came up with those scenarios are good because you don't really look at yourself a ton, I don't think, unless you're in a relationship and somebody's looking at you, or someone's coming over all the time and seeing how you live and like all this stuff. Like, it's just such a different dynamic,
Yeah, and part of it is like men are taught the wrong, like, I'm sorry to hammer this again because I know I just already rambled about it, but men don't understand women. Everything that we're taught growing up is from school, what we see at home, our friends, on TV, and now on social media. And all that is problematic. It's incorrect. So it's worse than what you said, because what we're told, like maybe in class or something, or like at school, like on the playground, I guess, or whatever.
Like, give me an example. Like, what is something you think guys are taught growing up that is just totally false about girls?
That's a good one. That's a good question. The first example that comes to mind is when I think about like romantic movies, or any movie or TV show, or romantic comedies. That might be the easiest one. Like you typically see this this sort of like bumbling as a dude who's the main character, who's like out of shape, and he might be like a little funny to us, the audience, but the girl in the movie or TV show doesn't really find him that funny. This is like very common. Think of any Seth Rogen movie, Jonah Hill movie, like almost anything. And by the way, the more you think, I'm telling you, after this, I might ruin movies for you if you really look, because it's almost
no. I love movies, and I hate those. I hate all the movies with those characters.
But I still love them, but I hate that part only because of what I'm talking about now. So I hate that I might be ruining movies for everyone, because I love film. But
yeah.
So this is an example. So think of basically any rom-com. There are a few, but it's so small, the percentage, where the guy's like, he's in shape, he's sharp, he carries himself with dignity, with respect. He understands female nature. He treats her that way, and she responds in turn. And then you have almost everything else.
I'm dead.
And you got this bumbling fool who's like, oops, sorry, I did it. And then he's always lucky to get puss. It's a blessing when he gets a sniff of vagina. It's a blessing. Oh my God, I'm so lucky. Oh, you want to get lucky tonight? You better. And he's like, oh, tell me what to do. I'm gonna get lucky tonight.
Yeah, it's like creating a beta male scenario right there.
100%. Never works.
I hate those movies.
Yeah. What else that happens? He's lucky to get laid. He's a bumbling nerd. She's the wise sage, and he's an idiot. And so she'll come in and tell him what to do and be his mom, basically, and tell him, hey, don't do, hey, you shouldn't do this, don't do that. And then he's like, oh, oh, okay, and then if he's lucky, she'll give him a hug at the end, or like at the end of the movie they have a kiss and whatever. This is what that's like an example of what we're taught. Like we see that, and so we assume that, and then men act that way. So I've made serious mistakes like this, where I've already told you some of these stories. So I don't know if this was on the pod, so I'll try to think of a new one. But I've definitely tried some of these things where I'm like, oh, this is romance, but it's not romance. It's actually manipulation. And everything in a sense is manipulation. So maybe we'll use a different word. But it's really like trying to.
It's like playing a role.
Yeah, it's playing
kind
a
of.
role that you think that's what the guy.
Like they think it's gonna be cute or something.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
at
Okay.
the end
Yeah,
of
yeah.
all those Seth Rogen movies where he's
Yeah.
with like Knocked Up. Remember Knocked Up with Katherine Heigl or whatever her name is?
Horrible movie.
And she,
Horrible movie.
well, I loved it as a kid, but that woman's like beautiful, and he's like this, like kind of disgusting, sloppy, degenerate, living with like too many friends in a dirty property, and they're like on the couch. There's like they haven't cleaned for decades,
Yeah.
and then he's still being a simp loser the whole movie. And somehow at the end of the movie, like every other rom-com, what happens? He gets
I want to see the real one where you have those two characters and the girl's like, you're a loser, and then the guy's like, and then she breaks up with him. And then the sequel of the movie is that he has a glow up and is no longer a beta male. He's an alpha male now.
Dude,
once we get
rich, I already have I'm not kidding. From like way before we met, even I have a script idea for this. I thought of this already. I have an idea. We'll talk about it off.
We don't need to be rich. It's called low budget movie.
It's a bit.
Let's do it right now.
Yeah, so I think that just basically guys get taught the wrong stuff. So they think at the end of the movie, I'm going to get the hottest chick by doing what he did. That's not the case. So there's a lot of things.
It's not cute to be a simp.
Nah. What is a simp to you, do you think? What do you think guys are up on right now?
What is a simp to me? I think someone who like goes against okay, very simply, I think a simp is somebody who like will do anything to get the girl. And I think that's a problem because it shouldn't be that way. It should be you getting to know this person. And if they, want certain things or whatever that don't align with you, don't just give up what you believe to go and get that specific girl. That's what simping is. Sometimes I'm going to be like, no. Like I've literally told girls, I'm not buying you handbags, period. I don't like it's one thing if we're like married or something down the road. Like I'm not anti handbags, but it's like I'm not making that type of investment in you now. No. Why? I don't know anything. I don't have we don't have loyalty like that yet. So to me, that's something that I'm not willing to negotiate on. Yep. It's not that I would never do it down the line, but I'm not doing that for a girl I just met. That's crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, of course.
But that's what I think. It's like anything. Like I'm gonna ditch all my friends because I want to hang out with you. I want to it's like, dude, your whole life now is surrounded.
Yes.
And it's like that's not healthy.
You've just been encompassed by a different value system.
Yes, and totally ignored your own.
Yes, or even.
But it's like, but for why? Like you can't, like that doesn't make sense.
Well, you're unique. It's cool that we can talk about this, like especially female to male, because you have a unique perspective that normally I wouldn't be able to discuss that with in general. But for what? That's like the point. Like for what? But I think for them, it's for most men, it's just because sorry, to get back to, let me finish my point. I forgot. This is what you get. This is the Alex you get if we go too late. I wanted to give you a little flowers because you always carry yourself like that, but you're rare. There's not a lot of people there's like very few people who have your perspective and experience and understanding around this, and the diligence and willingness to accept the consequences of executing what you believe to be true at the time, and exercise your values, or hold a boundary. Men, I know I've met thousands, and can think of, or like find on my social media, hundreds who might agree with what you just said, but don't act like that. So once,
Mm,
because it's so seductive, because you know what? I think at the end of the day, what men and women both want is, and I'll just speak for men, I guess, for now, but humans in general is really what I'm going for here. I think we just want to feel love, connection, heard, seen, understood. I think we want to feel cared for, appreciated for our uniqueness. A lot of those things are easier to openly desire as a woman, I think. And I think a lot, if most men, not myself, obviously, wouldn't feel like super comfortable to just be like, what I really want is like love and connection. Like they would feel like awkward saying that, what I just said. But I really think all of us we really, really need that. I think it's a necessity. And it's a
yeah.
little easier to get,
I think the
away with it.
thing, yeah, I think like the things that like, what's the best way to put it is like, and that makes sense, right? From a human perspective, is that we all need that. But I think the thing that simps lack to understand, which like I'm not perfect. I'm sure I've acted that way at some point in my life in the past. And that's how I know from trial and error,
Oh, yeah.
But is that instead of chasing something, you can get it to come to you.
Yeah.
And I think that like when you have game, that's how you approach things. And when you're a simp and you don't have game, you're constantly chasing. And that's the difference. You don't have to chase anymore when you have game because she's going to come back, or she's going to call or whatever, because
or you can find a better or a different one or whatever.
Right, exactly.
Yes. That's it. Well, it's almost like unfair to the audience because you already you've been on the game. You've been done doing this shit, you know what I'm saying?
It's unfair to the audience.
It's almost unfair because like they're not gonna get it. Like, that's why I want to go into like, I don't even know if I want to go crazy advanced or crazy basic.
Yeah, I think too, like my audience is mixed because I have there actually are a lot of guys that are like super obsessed with me that watch all my shit. And like they don't know what it is, and they message me all the time.
Okay.
And but the thing too is, I think in a lot of ways they admire some of the stuff that I do.
Of course.
And so if they're not learning it from another guy, they're learning it from a girl who's taking other chicks. I don't know.
Well, but that's like legit. Like you have game. I game recognize game, right? That's real.
Yeah, that's true.
I think it really bothers me, man. You know why? Fuck.
What bothers you?
I don't know. All this stuff we're talking about. I really care, So I was out today. I was at the gas station.
But this is the thing too, though. You have to understand, because I've seen people that really want families and stuff, but like they will not get anything better for themselves. And I always try to tell people, you will get exactly what you're willing to work for and whatever you deserve in life, but you have to put work in. And if you don't, you're going to wake up every day going to the same job that is not impressing any girl because it doesn't make shit. And then you're never going to meet any girl because you still don't have the confidence and blah, blah, blah. And it's an continuing cycle of you're never going to have a family because you won't make a change even for yourself. So what if you ran into that girl tomorrow? Yeah. Oh, all of a sudden you're going to be inspired to like, oh, now I got to get a better job because this girl's in love with me and I got her pregnant. And like, oh my God, it's too late. It makes it simpy. Yeah. But like, why wait? Like, that's why it's better to build yourself up first and then, like,
yes, of course,
hope that you run into somebody or whatever. But anyway, what were you saying? What was your story?
I don't remember. That was you caught me up. No, it's all right. You caught me up. You took me down a different visual path. Yeah, I agree with you. I agree with you. Maybe it'll come back to me. Who knows? It's like, yeah.
Maybe he'll watch this. I need to. There's a particular person I have in mind.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I remember. I was going down the. Okay.
It was a story. Yeah.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter. This is just like how I live. So, I'm like I am actually like a sensitive guy. Like I feel everything very deeply. That used to be a problem when I was younger, but I figured out how to, weaponize it. That makes it sound cool, but really what it is like just use it to my to be strong. Also, I'm not. I used to be like overly sensitive, perhaps. But sensitive to me means on feeling like you. Yeah. If you look at the definition, I think that that's important, and there is a way to do that with strength, and there's a way to do that weakly as well. So, but between you and I and anyone who might ever watch this, which could be the entire world as far as I know, I feel this all the time. I'm feeling people very deeply. I was like at the gas station. This is always.
Yeah.
People are, and I saw this like old lady with her little walker, and she's like struggling to go through. And I'm trying to put a smile on her face with, "Hello, miss, how you doing? How's it going?" Blah blah, and the cashier and everything like this. And like as I'm walking home just from the gas station, buying my cigarettes, American Spirit, light blue. I was thinking about just like sometimes I just get hit with that feeling like, man, all these people in there are just like going through their daily lives, just their day to day, picking up whatever they need to go before they go home, in between or before or after work, or they're at work behind the counter.
Yeah.
And all it takes sometimes to change a life is, hey, what's
to shove them?
Hey,
just kidding.
yeah.
I'm just kidding.
Push. Yeah, no, exactly. Push them into traffic. That's what
F you, bro.
Exactly. Push them into traffic. It is right next to the freeway, so that's why you somehow predicted what I was going to say. You just push them right onto the freeway, change their life forever. Hey, you thought that it was bad to just have to walk, or how does it feel to be in the wheelchair?
I saw a meme that was like, I'm gonna take a girl on a first date on a rooftop and jump off and change her life forever. And I was like, oh my God. But I couldn't stop laughing. And I said this to my friend, and I was like, why am I laughing at this? And she's like, you're meant to be fucked up. And I'm like, I have a morbid sense of humor, but
me too. No,
you're right. You're right. Like those little.
Send me that anytime you get those memes, you send me those.
Like I will. That's so true, because if you think about, and there's that one story to bring up depressing of that guy who survived jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge.
I met him.
No way.
That's why I was about to talk about that. Kevin Hines.
Because he said if one person asked him how his day was, he probably wouldn't have jumped.
I was about to bring that up. I swear to God.
I watched that documentary.
Kevin Hines, I think, is his name. I met him. He came to my high school. I met him, and he said, and exactly, you just said it. So yeah, he said, if one person looks at me smiles at me,
Like you wouldn't have done it.
says anything, I won't jump. And he did, because no one said anything, looked at him, nothing. And then, there happened to be, God intervened, because there happened to be this East Coast spinal surgeon specialist driving across the Golden Gate Bridge who happened to see him jump at the same time as there was a there was a Coast Guard person. What would I call that? Coast Guard what? Coast Guard, just Coast Guard?
Like Coast Guard patrol, like in the water, like
No.
on the boat.
No, on the bridge. So there was a Coast Guard driving. He was like the head guy, and he was driving across, and just happened to be at the moment the guy jumped.
Oh, okay.
And he called his team and was like, "Hey, someone just jumped."
Because he saw it. Yeah. And this is before they had the net.
Yes.
So he went in the water, and the other miracle is that he said something was pushing him up.
It was a dolphin. It was a dolphin.
Yeah.
The dolphin came, like dolphins apparently. I don't even know we have dolphins in San Francisco. I don't even know if that's real. But
there's probably Loch Ness monsters in that. I wouldn't be surprised. It's like a whole world down there, dude.
Some sort of big, fishy animals down there, and yes, like surrounded and lifted him up.
Yeah.
And then the Coast Guard calls, and the Coast Guard arrives.
Some guy that did it. Go get him.
And then at Marin General in Larkspur or whatever, there was like a specialist from the East Coast who just happened to be there for some other big high profile surgery.
Wow.
Who could save his back. And anyway, that story, that's what I was going to bring up. Sometimes all it takes is to put a smile on someone's face and just say, "Hey, how's it going? What's going on, bro?" And you could go super polite and just be nice. Sometimes I like to go a little naughty and say something, out of pocket to see, like, not mean, but like.
So I feel bad being mean to homeless people now.
No, I don't mean disrespectful out of pocket. What I mean is, like, can I get away with a naughty joke? And sometimes I'll do that. The point is always to put a smile on their face, and it always gives to me too. I'm trying to teach that. And I think that, that's not really, to kind of contrast what we were talking about before. That's not an unpopular idea. Anybody could get on board with that. And really when we come down to it, that's the essence of my game. If we're really being real, but some of it, sometimes we have to go into some, other territories. But really that's just how I live. I'm always trying to do that. It gives so much to me. I'm not even doing it. I don't care if you think I'm even a good person for this. I don't care if they think I'm a good person for it. If they smile, I win. And I feel good because I put a smile on that person's face, even if it's momentary. Never see him again. No benefit to me. Don't care aside from got a smile out of a human. Gave him a little bit of a tiny positive human experience. That's really what we're trying to spread.
Yeah, I like that. Look at you being all kind.
Yeah, but I could be a dick too.
I guess I'll stop shoving people on the Golden Gate Bridge and be like, "Fuck off!" No, sorry. I don't do that. I don't do that. Can you imagine? I just go there and I say, "Fuck you" to everyone.
It could be a good viral video.
I might have to edit that out. I'm not sure.
No, it's great. That's hilarious.
Well, any final thoughts before we end? We might have to do another one another time. We just have so much stuff to talk about.
We have plenty to talk about. We can do this all day. I don't know. Follow Lucy.
Any simp advice besides don't be one?
Can you give Can you give me a more specific question?
Or whatever. Any advice for
How about this? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
A young male.
Well, the basics are the basics. Just work on you have your relationship with yourself, which is your mind, your body, and then your spirit, which is a little harder to measure. That's like your consciousness, your relationship to, could be art, music, nature, the Lord, whatever. And then purpose. Where are you going? If you have no direction, then you're just gonna think about it like a boat that doesn't have like a GPS coordinate. You don't just want to be floating through the ocean. So define a purpose, define like why you're doing what you're doing. Why are you working hard? Why? There's the purpose. And then the direction is the where. So what's the end goal? And then be consistent as best you can. Find some good people to be around. Listen to
I feel like someone's got to comment this and be like, I said hi to the nice old lady, and now I'm in love with this homeless lady. I have game. I'm not a simp anymore. No, it's kidding.
All that is like that. This all sounds basic, but they're the basics, and that's the internal relationship. On the outside, you got to make sure your fitness is solid, your relationships and your money. Those are all just basics.
Yeah.
The final thing I'll say is like I think that you should unplug from probably the majority of popular stuff you're going to hear,
except for my podcast. Don't unplug from this.
Yeah. I know. I was gonna
unfollow every other podcast that you follow right now and just follow mine.
Only Lucy for sure.
Let me brainwash you slowly. Ooh, I'm
but
gonna create players. No,
no, they would be better. Joking. No, but they'd be better off for following you as opposed to, when it comes to relationships. So they have to like become conscious at least that there is a difference between what they see on television and on their TikTok or Twitter or Instagram or something, versus what actually is real and works in real life. So it would actually benefit them to follow you and to hear stuff like this and at least be aware of it and try to at least start looking, like at least open your eyes. That's probably the easiest quick way, because if you open your eyes, there's no question they'll see eventually.
You heard it here first, guys. Keep your eyes open.
Follow
Alex.
Didn't even say the N-word or anything today.
Thank you so much for watching Lucy's Paradise podcast. We said no N-words, but we did say one R word. Please forgive us.